so excited that you're excited about Robin Schiff. All right. So, I'm here to introduce one of the best people I know. A genius writer who cares about others, as is evidenced by her involvement with Girls Right Now. In fact, spoiler alert, you're all receiving a copy of the Girls Right Now anthology tonight. It's called Hope Lives in Our Words, and it's full of beautiful stories from the mentees in this program. And guess who wrote the foreword? Winnie Holzman. She knows that the ability to express yourself in writing can make life worth living. For Winnie Holzman, writing isn't just a job, it's a reason for being. It's no coincidence that Winnie and I are both best known for writing about female friendship. Winnie and I met 30 years ago because I was a huge fan of hers. Back then, I was in my terrible marriage, and I noticed that my favorite episodes of 30-something were written by this Winnie Holzman person. My husband at the time was a studio executive, and he set up a meeting with her, and one night he brought home a videotape, yes, a videotape, this was a few years ago, of this pilot Winnie Holzman had written called My So-Called Life. The first scene I saw were these two characters, Angela and Rayanne, panhandling. Well, when my high school best friend and I were 17 in Europe, we panhandled. As I kept watching, I wondered how this woman had climbed into my brain and read my mind and put it all into her show. I admit I was also a little jealous I hadn't written it myself, and I really was. But the experience of watching it stayed with me for days. My ex said, "Why don't you call her?" But I felt shy. My first show was on the air, it was called Almost Perfect, and I had amazing male partners and mentors. But this was so long ago, I didn't know any other female writer-producers. And I wanted to know another woman who was doing what I was doing. So I finally broke down and called her, and Winnie had her weary voice on. And I said, "My name is Robin Schiff, and if I'd written the pilot for My So-Called Life and was hit by a bus, I'd die happy." What I learned from this, and it's a good thing for mentees to know, is a sincere compliment is a great way to become friends with another writer. And I have other writers that I've met that way too. A true friend will be proud of you and happy for you. Ever since, we've been each other's support system. Winnie was there for me when I was fired from Romeo and Michelle for a year, and before they brought me back. And we're also there for each other when things are going well. Winnie was on set when we were filming Romeo and Michelle, and I was at the first reading of Wicked in a rehearsal room at Universal before we knew that those were going to have happy endings. And I'm sure that the reason Winnie is here tonight is because she knows that Girls Right Now is not only nurturing great writers, but creating that support system for them. Writing is a solitary and sometimes crazy-making occupation, but you don't have to do it alone. Look for kindred spirits who can be there for you. Winnie and I are that for each other. We still always read each other's work. As recently as a month ago, Winnie felt like she couldn't get started on a rewrite, and I reminded her for her, that's always step one. Girls Right Now is based on that very premise. Mentors and mentees talk through what works and what doesn't. I wish for each of you that you are lucky enough to find a person in your life as special and talented and soulful as Winnie Holzman. She pushes herself as an artist and shows up for other people. And my life would be, I don't know what it would be without Winnie. She's my go-to person. So I would love to introduce the wonderful Winnie Holzman.